Hello, today we are going to talk about Cambridge IGCSE Physics 0625. First topic, motion, forces and energy. 1.5 forces, 1.5.1 effects of forces, COPA. Under the 1.5 forces, 1.5.1 effects of forces, COPA. First one, know that forces may produce changes in the size and shape of an object. Number two, sketch, plot and interpret load extension graphs for an elastic solid and describe the associated experimental procedures. Number three, determine the resultant of two or more forces acting along the same straight line. Number four, know that an object either remains at rest or continues in a straight line at constant speed unless acted on by a resultant force. Number five, said that a resultant force may change the velocity of an object by changing its direction of motion or its speed. Number six, describe solid friction as the force between two surfaces that may impede motion and produce heating. Number seven, know that friction, we call drag, acts on an object moving through a liquid. Number eight, know that friction or drag acts on an object moving through a gas. Example, air resistance. So these are the highlighted thought today we are going to talk about. Effects of forces. Newton's first law states that an object has a constant velocity unless acted on by a resultant force. Newton's second law states that force equal mass into acceleration, which is F is equal ma. Newton's third law states that every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force. For example, the force of the Earth's gravity on an object is equal and opposite to the force of the object's gravity on the Earth. For example, motion of a body falling in a uniform gravitational field. Initially, there is no air resistance, and the only force acting on it is weight. As it falls, it accelerates, which increases its speed and hence air resistance. This causes the resultant force downwards to decrease. Therefore, the acceleration decreases, so it is not speeding up as quickly. Eventually, they are equal and opposite and balance. So there is no resultant force. So there is no acceleration and the terminal velocity is reached. Friction. Friction is a force between two surfaces which impede motion and results in heat. Air resistance is a form of friction. Resultant force. To find the resultant of two or more forces acting along the same line, they should be added together if in the same direction and subtracted if in the opposite direction. For an object moving in a circle with constant speed, the speed is constant but the direction is always changing. This means the velocity is always changing. Therefore, it is accelerating and there must be a force perpendicular to its velocity toward the center of the circle. Deformation. A force may produce a change in size and shape of a body. This is called deformation. Elastic deformation. The object returns to its original shape when the load has been removed. An example being a spring being stretched under normal usage. Plastic deformation. The object does not return to its original shape when the load has been removed. An example being a spring that has been stretched too far. Both laws states that for a spring, F is equal K into X, the F is the force applied to the spring in newtons, K is the spring constant in Newton per meter, and X is the extension in meters. Linear, straight line, force extension graph. You can see like this. There are two regions, elastic region and plastic region. Elastic deformation following Hooke's law. The point it stops being linear is called the limit of proportionality. From then on, it does not obey Hooke's law. Gradient is the spring constant K, non-linear, we call curve line, force extension graph. Plastic deformation not following Hooke's law. After the plastic region, it will fracture. You can see here, this limit of proportionality just after the elastic region. At the beginning of the plastic region and the end of the elastic region, there's a fracture.